recipient or beneficiary. In this way, it removes the risks of the silver and golden rules, where the frame of reference is yourself, who might have different priorities than your neighbor. One of my favorite attributes of the Platinum Rule is that it adds an extra dimension to the ethical dynamic. Not only is it imperative to do a positive action toward your neighbor, the one they would like, in fact, but it raises the question, what does your neighbor want or need? The Platinum Rule, therefore, adds a layer of relationship building. It invites you to explore the needs of your neighbor before acting towards them and offering something that might well be detrimental, however well-intentioned you may have been, based on your own perception of your needs. Nonetheless, the Platinum Rule falls short in a different way than the other noble metals. It removes the layer of self-reflection that seeks to recognize self-love. Adopting an ethical basis based purely on the Platinum Rule would not only risk losing sight of the importance of self-care, it would, by extension, open one up to extreme vulnerability or self-neglect and abuse by others. Nor would this necessarily benefit society as a whole. Just because a neighbor wishes to be treated a certain way does not mean that it will be beneficial to your other neighbors, let alone yourself. So where does this leave us? What does it mean to live a life by these rules? How can they be useful when they each entail their own risks and vulnerabilities? In Billions and Billions, Carl Sagan mentions one experiment in which tit for tat seems to be the most useful for some degree of mutual fulfillment in a very strict experimental setting. But what about the rest of real life? The way I see it, the value of these rules lies less on a drive to live purely by any one of these rules, and rather in appreciating the questions they raise about how we value ourselves and our neighbors. The questions we've been asking today about what it means to live a life with love for oneself, and what does it mean to live a life with consideration for others? What does it mean to live a life of reciprocity? And what does it mean to live a life of mutual edification and fulfillment? When we build covenants in our communities, we are not looking to simply optimize our self-interest, nor are we looking solely to selflessly serve others at the expense of our own needs and fulfillment. We are looking beyond simply getting by with a functional network. We are seeking to build a community of exploration, of healing, of forgiveness and acceptance. We seek to build a community where we can get to know our neighbors. We seek to build a community where we can get to appreciate the value of our neighbors. And where they get to appreciate and know us. We seek to build a community where love is our guide. Love for ourselves and love for others. Love for the interdependent web of which we are all part. May this love guide you. May this love drive you. May your love for exploration bring you closer to your neighbor. So may it.